Okay, let's do this. Let's look at the market. Daily chart, S&P 500. We'll go through this first and the trade of the day, and then we'll do all the other products. So today was a very small day, range of about 31. It was a down day. I really thought today would hit 5,800. Got pretty close, 57.98 and 3/4. So close enough. We're sitting at 5,800 here. Right now the market's 57.83. It's pulled back a little bit. You know, we're going to look at the hourly chart too, and I'll show you what the members get to see. So what do I think's going on here? Well, we're 5 calendar days away from this little cycle low right here. Looks like they're running a little bit past that. So maybe it goes into the first few days of October. Maybe a little pull back to 5,700. Then we'll see if it mounts a bounce, and then down maybe, because this looks very bullish right here. Okay, let's look at the weekly real fast. What's the weekly doing? Yep. Still looks bullish to me. Crossed over way up in bullish territory. The momentum is very strong here. Way above the zero line. I mean, it's got room to go here. You know, that would be 77. Right now we're at 67. You know, this thing's, the weekly chart looks like to me there's room to go. I would say this ain't over. You know, if we get that little dip going into the first week of October, I think we're going to get a bounce coming out of it. We'll keep an eye on it. Let's look at the hourly chart here. Show you what's going on there. This is normally something we show the members. This is streamed live to the members. These are cycles, hourly cycles right here on the member chart, streamed live. Look at this. What did I forecast? I forecasted 1 o'clock in the morning right here would be a low. When did it happen? What do you know? It happened at 1 o'clock, right on the button. I said there'd be a cycle at 4. It looks like it happened across 12, 1, and 2 o'clock, just sitting down in here, right? So it came a little earlier than expected. Normally we see this at 2 o'clock. Very common to see. You can see it right there. Yesterday was 1 o'clock. The previous day before that was 12 o'clock. Okay. So this cycle is a little bit off, but it was pretty close. It happened a little bit earlier. Still, if you look at this in your trading, you see it comes down to this cycle low here. It bounces. You see some red candlesticks. You know it's heading towards this cycle low, right? This is how we use cycle analysis to make money. Okay, you could trade long coming out of this, which is what I would have done, especially with this market being that strong. If you want to be a little bit more risky trader, you could short the futures here down into this cycle low. Okay. Yep. You want to become a member? Join. $7.99 a month. The description and instructions are in the link, or with the link just below this video in the description. Also in the first comment. You get the streaming charts for the S&P 500. You get it for gold. You get nightly emails. Yeah, a lot of value for $7.99. Okay, let's see what the trade of the day is. We're going to go to the 5-minute chart, see where was the trade of the day. Let's turn on the Gettys Plus indicator here. Was there any obvious trade of the day? What I'm noticing right here is that the Gettys candle's not turned on. Let's turn it on. There we go. Okay, I do see one trade to the short side. There's kind of one right there, but let's look at the 15-minute chart and see if something pops up there. Okay, about the 1-hour chart. The 1-hour chart's pretty flat. Pretty tight day. Not a lot of range. Range of about 30. Still more than enough to make money. So where do I see the best trades of the day? Well, this one right here stood out really clear to me. This happened at, let's go over and look at this. This happened at 10:25 this morning. Pretty decent trade. Momentum is coming down the SMI. It hasn't hit the bottom yet. Momentum on the MACD is going negative. Yep, you could short it right off this little green candlestick on this one, and then bam. could have shorted it right there on that plum count, like that's fine. Wait for it to do a little bouncy bounce. It pulls back. You can see momentum is negative at this point. So I would say safely from 57.85, maybe down here about right in this area. 57.73 we'll call it. Okay, so about 10, 13 points. Not bad for a 30-point day to pick up more than a third of the range. That is your trade of the day. Okay, let's go look at all the other products. We'll start with the Dow Jones Transportation, and we'll move through all these products kind of quick. We're just going to be looking at the daily charts for these. Pullback day, pretty much matching the indices. Pullback day right there. October 27th is the cycle low. Yeah. It's trying to go that way. Momentum's still positive here, though. So short term, momentum's trying to go down. Longer term, the momentum here is still positive on the transportation. Kind of a mixed signal, and transportation's been that way for the last few days. Let's look at the Russell 2000. Russell 2000 still trying to make a bottom. Still trying to come down. Positive momentum. At the moment, we've got downward pressure. Of course, the cycle low was about 2 days ago, but this continues to give it up. Could happen all the way down into October 15th here. So this is not finished. I don't think it's finished yet. Looks like there's more price decline to come on the Russell 2000. Let's look at the NASDAQ. Really small update. Still bullish. It's amazing how the Russell 2000 is negative, right? Has negative momentum going on. And on the NASDAQ, it's positive. Just inching up little by little here. Okay, still positive momentum. Trying to double up its efforts and keep going. But it's really, really tight right now. You know, it's interesting with that lending rate cut, you think the market would have gone nuts. It kind of didn't. Yes, it gapped up here and then it just kind of sitting there with really small days, yeah. Lending rate nonsense. Ain't going to do a damn thing for anybody. Okay, we'll look at the SPX. Maybe, you know what, let me go back to the NDX, make sure I was I on the daily? Yeah, let's go to the daily here. Let me just look at the daily. Yeah, October 8th, October 16th are the cycle lows. But for now, momentum still looks positive. SPX. Small down day, but still very, very positive momentum. Looks like today hit all-time highs again on the SPX. Futures were just below all-time highs or right at it. And the SPX hit all-time highs here. For the moment, I don't see any reason to think that the S&P 500 is going to decline. Still looks bullish to me. Okay, it probably will decline coming up here soon, but it hasn't done it yet, so we just keep taking those small positions long. But, you know, it has that look like it's kind of running out of gas. But it hasn't yet. Okay, let's look at the Japanese market, the Nikkei 225. Sideways. Still negative momentum here. Trying to go positive, but still negative. Tracking sideways. Yeah, a lot of chop here on the Nikkei 225. So definitely not clear. Not a product I would trade right now. Let's look at the Japanese yen. Continues its trek down. It's not done yet. Looks like it hasn't bottomed out yet. You can see it can get pretty low sometimes. So far, momentum is still positive. Excuse me, the cycle low is supposed to be today, September 25th. Okay, so we're going to wait to see what this does as it goes into the first week of October. If it bounces, and this is still positive momentum, yes, I like it long. But at the moment, I wouldn't touch it. Okay, let's look at the euro dollar. Lots of chop here on the euro dollar. Positive momentum going on, but it's got elevated here. But it hasn't pulled back, and that's important to know that. So, yes, it looks like it wants to, and it probably will. October 3rd is its cycle low, but for the moment, it's chopping sideways. Would I trade it? No, I wouldn't trade it. I'd wait till like late in the first week or second week of October. Let's see what momentum is doing. Is it going to bounce? For now, just don't touch it. Let's look at the British pound. Big down day after all this monster run. Cycle low is tomorrow, September 26th. So what do you know? It finally gave it up. Super bullish here. Super bullish. I like the British pound once we get past these cycle lows. If momentum is still strong, maybe it's given up a little bit, it's down in here or something. Okay, but if it's still positive and it's able to survive these two cycle lows, then yeah, I like it kind of at, middle of October, late October. I think the British pound could be very strong. Between now and like the middle of October, it's a little bit, I think we're going to see some chop in here, some decline and some chop probably, but still overall looks very healthy. Let's look at gold. Little tiny update, barely trading here, 21.5. So obviously gold's running into, like I said yesterday, I think gold's going to kind of run out of gas. Looks like it's having a hard time. Sitting right up here at 2,700 area. Been on an absolute rampage. Tomorrow's at cycle low. This thing could just track sideways, pull back a little bit, whatever it's going to do here, and mount another takeoff. This momentum is just absolutely going to the moon. Blazing. You would think the lending rate cut would have affected, money flow and easier to borrow money, and gold's going to come down because of it. You can't fool the world, and you can't fool commodities. Precious metal like gold, you can't trick it. Can't really trick it, right? And that lending rate cut doesn't mean a damn thing to gold. It may eventually, but it ain't. You like the word ain't? It isn't right now. And you know what I'm going to say? Gold's going to hit 3,000, especially if the leftists get into the White House. And if Trumpy Dumpy gets into the White House, yeah, I think it could probably cool off a little bit because the economy they'll probably put a lot of effort into improving the economy. But as I said before, I doubt they're going to pay any attention to the national debt. And I'm telling you right now, that is what's going to crush the United States of America. It's going to bring it to its knees. And if they don't focus on taking care of that problem, if the White House and the lower house, the House of Representatives and the Senate, if they don't focus on balanced budget and turning this thing around and realizing that we've got to have a massive change in economic philosophy here in the United States, if we don't change that, right? If we just keep going on the path of spending, you're going to spend your way out of debt. No, you can't spend your way out of debt. That logic is so ridiculously flawed and evil. Okay? I grew up in an era where we promoted savings. Yeah, like savings bonds, $25 savings bonds, whatever. Yes, I know they were for the war effort probably, but still, we promoted savings. That was, a very biblical principle. We promoted savings, not spending. Okay, we only spent what we had. That was, taught. This was basic mathematics and basic economics when I was a child. Nowadays, I cringe at what's being taught and what is viewed as acceptable. And the national debt must be addressed. And if it's not, and I suspect it will not be, because no president in the last, I don't know how many decades has even ever talked about it, let alone address it. I don't think they'll address it. I don't think they care. I don't even think Donald Trump's going to address it. Yes, he may help the economy if he gets into the White House, but that national debt, guys and gals, guess what? It has already come home to roost, and it's going to crush the United States and bring it to its knees. It's going to happen. They're going to have to, the United States as a whole, the people, the the government, the legislators, the judicial branch, everybody would have to come on board with we must reduce the national debt. It would have to be like a national goal. Okay, that's the only way this would get done. I just don't see it happening. Americans aren't willing to pay the price and suffer the pain to do it. The politicians are too busy lining their own pockets. Just whatever. And of course, the Marxists and the socialist billionaires like the Soros boys, they're all about destruction, man. Control, coercion, manipulation, destruction. That's they're the pit of hell. And a lot of people on the left, I don't even know what to say about the left anymore. It's just so bad. A lot of people on the left are just kind of the leftist ideology. I said this before. I don't think they really view the world through the binoculars of right and wrong. Not really. They just kind of view it through, generically speaking, what can they extract out of this world? I honestly believe a lot of people are just willing to compromise right and wrong if they think they're going to get something out of it. Like the left may say that right and wrong is important to them, but they'll toss it to the wind if they. It's not the first thing on their list, Yeah, we're focused on right or wrong, and that's wrong. If you're anti-abortion, that's wrong. If you're anti-immigration, illegal immigration, they'll say those things are wrong. You're anti-homosexual, that's wrong. They will come out and say it's wrong. Yeah, but it's kind of like farting in the wind, right? It comes and goes. Right? The sense I get of the left is, yes, they have a sense of right and wrong, but they're more than willing to toss it to the side if they think they're going to get something out of whatever they're trying to do, right? In other words, the end justifies the means with the left. I'm not saying people on the right don't do it as well. They just don't do it as much or quite to the same extreme. So gold, I'm saying all that because gold is a reflection. Really, you want to know what gold is? We're a reflection of, guys and gals? Human behavior. It really is. Gold reflects human behavior. Probably as good as any commodity. And my spidey senses, or the Spirit of God senses, tell me that this thing's going to 3,000. One way or the other. Okay, let's check out crude oil. And by the way, I think silver, which we'll look at here in a minute, is going to go along for the ride as well. Now that's kind of a both precious metal and industrial metal, so it kind of rides the fence. It's not going to take off quite as much as gold, but it's going to go along for the ride. Okay, crude oil. Tracking sideways. Negative momentum. And I've been saying this for the last week or two that yes, I thought that crude oil is going to get a bounce. 72, 74, sure enough, it's up at 72, and then it's going to run out of gas. I just don't think it can do it. Maybe one last leap to 74, maybe, but look at this. Looks like it's trying to roll over. I think it is going to roll over. I just don't think it can do it. It's got up here. It's going to run out of gas. It's going to capitulate and do its thingy. I don't think it's got enough mustard, even if it got to 76, which that would be some kind of repair level. Then we'd look at it again if it gets way up to 76, but it looks like it's just going to have a hard go. Okay, I think it's more likely to go back down to 65 and even lower before it goes to, let's say, 78, 76 or 78. All right, so that's my take on crude oil. Let's look at the weekly real quick. Yeah, just look at this. I mean, it's just so damaged. Now, the thing is, on the weekly chart, it looks like it wants to take off, and it may do that. December 1st is what it is here on the weekly. So, can it get to $75? Yeah, maybe. 75, 76, didn't take a dump. Could do it. But still, I don't think that's enough to really repair crude oil. I just think it's in trouble. All right. Though other commodities could drag this thing higher. If Trump gets into the White House, folks, we're going to be producing a lot of our own oil and gasoline here in the United States. Get ready for that, because he is pro energy independent America. So that would likely drive the price of crude oil down, probably. Okay, so that's another thing to keep in mind. He loves to have the drills drilling. And I personally think he's correct. I'm on board with that. And I think if he becomes president, you'll see gas prices down around $2 again. $2.50, $2, something like this. Maybe even lower. All right, let's take a look at let's see, look at corn. Corn. Let me get out of the weekly, go to the daily. Yep. It's got that bullish look to it. You see, like I said, this didn't come down to the bottom. This didn't come to the bottom. It's trying to do this. This is slowly getting positive momentum. I do think 420 is going to happen. We're at 415. It almost got there yesterday. Got up to 418. I think 420 is going to happen. I'm just keeping this super simple. It could go much higher. Okay, but I'm just keeping this super simple. I think 420 is probably safely going to get there. Okay, small position in corn. Probably okay, but it is awful choppy. All right. The other problem that I have is that, yes, the lows have not gotten lower, but you see how the peaks have come down here? So it's one of these weird looking, here we go into a triangle deal on the SMI. Okay. Price isn't in a triangle, but the SMI is. So it's a little bit shaky here, but I do think 420 is going to happen. Okay, let me look at silver, because I said I'd look at silver. Yeah, well above $32. Small red day here. 73.5, 0.735 range day. Because remember, futures trade in points, not dollars. So I'm refraining from saying dollars here. 0.735 points of range today. It just looks bullish. It's got that look like, hey, man. And I think 33 is possible. That's right. You heard it here first. I think 33 is possible. May not get there, because 33 is going to have to get past this 32.75.5. Okay. But could 33 happen? Yeah, I think it could happen. Let's look at the weekly here. I think I mentioned yesterday I bought some silver, some physical silver. Put my hands on some physical silver. Just bought a little 1 ouncer. I think I mentioned I bought a fakey silver 1 ounce on eBay, realized it was fake, demanded a refund, got it. Thank goodness, got my money back. It's like $26. Should have known when I saw it was below spot value. Lesson learned. But then I bought from a legitimate precious metals dealer. There's several of them here in the States that you can buy from. And I got myself a 1 ounce silver. They're just basically medallions, silver medallion. Or coin, however you want to call it. They're called rounds, silver rounds, 1 ounce silver rounds. Yeah, I think a little hedge on silver is okay. Physical silver, yes, I want it in my hand. I don't think it's a good idea to put gold and silver into these like vaults. We'll hold it for you. Yeah, right. Right. And when things collapse, they're just going to open up their vaults and hand it back to you. Yeah, good luck with that. Not my silver, you're not. I got mine in a vault. That's nice. Buy yourself a really good, awesome safe. Put it in your house. Put your precious metals in there. Yes, it could still be stolen if they really worked super hard to go in there and lift up a 1,000-pound safe, I guess. Yeah. They're going to have to work really hard at it. And by then you might come home and say, welcome to my shotgun. Or my 9mm or whatever else I'm carrying in my truck. Because guess what? I'm in Texas. I carry biatches. If you're in my house, I might just come in and lock the door so you can't easily get out. And then it's you and me, Bubba. And you can be damn sure I'll be doing everything in my power to make sure that you have a bad day. All right. Silver. I think it's going to go to 33. Let's take a look at what else we got. XLP. I think it's the last of the products I'm going to look at. XLP technically is not a product in the sense of futures, but I'll still call it a product. It's a product. It's an ETF. Let's go daily here. Yeah, I think it's trying to find a bottom here. It hasn't found it yet, though. Trying to find a bottom. October 20th is a cycle low. Had its little cycle low over here. Look at that. It was a little 1 day cycle low. I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't trade it right now. I'll wait to see what this does. Okay. If it bounces off this bottom, like I said, especially if it does one of these deals and doesn't touch the bottom, but if it bounces off this bottom and this is still up here positive and it starts tightening up again, yeah, I think it's a long. But right now, I wouldn't touch it. Okay, I think I've covered everything. If you want to become a member, $7.99. You get the streaming charts for the S&P 500. You get the streaming charts for gold. You get the nightly emails, which is a really good email. I include 5 different charts on that email. There are alerts on the Discord server for both S&P 500 and gold. So all you got to do is turn notifications on the Discord server, and you get notified. Okay. It's a tremendous value. Some people are making pretty big bucks on their service, and they're more than making enough money to pay for their membership and then some. Okay, I think that pretty much covers it. I think there's a lot of opportunities coming up in both S&P 500 and gold. Also, I think if we're a little bit patient here, the Japanese yen and the British pound are going to pay nicely, but not quite yet. Get a little bit patient there on those products. I think they're going to pay nicely going long here. Whatever, going in sometime in October, probably. All right, that's it. Happy trading, everybody. God bless everybody. Talk to you all real soon again next time.